Having overheard this conversation between Becca and Stacey as a fellow employee, not as their manager, I would feel obligated to report this to the proper personnel. These discussions unfortunately take place all the time, but most go unheard. As a fellow employee, I would have to take a very careful approach so that my actions would not be associated with theirs. So in doing so, my approach to Becca and Stacey would be to have discussions one-on-one in private so that they do not feel uncomfortable or make a scene in front of other employees. I would express my concern for their actions, explaining the violations that they have committed against EEO policies that may be in place. The assumption that Becca and Stacey made about the warehouse employees are ignorant and unfounded. So for them to discuss something of that nature is completely wrong in the workplace. As a fellow employee, I would reach out to Becca and Stacey in hopes of engaging them into interactions or conversations with those same employees they spoke of. As a manager, I would be much more harsh towards Becca and Stacey. First, by investigating their actions and in discovering any in violation of the EEO policy, would seek reprimand and would have them take a training course on sensitivity and training in the workplace or some form of EEO training. I would approach Becca and Stacey the same way I did before by one-on-one conversations about the situation and explain that these actions are not and will not be tolerated in the workplace. I would remind them of their requirements to adhere to company EEO policies, and that any further violations in this manner would be grounds for dismissal. It is not easy to be sensitive for their actions because those actions were made out of ignorance and unfounded thoughts expressed openly in the workplace. So with this situation, leniency would not be on the table in my office.